Right back here. Found this 508 at a antique store yesterday. It will probably fire up just the way it is right now. It's in really good shape, just dirty. But it smells really bad of unleaded gasoline. So I'm going to give this thing a complete tear down, clean it up, put it back together. That way I get years of service out of it. All right, let's get started. You know, I didn't even look at the date on this thing. I just picked it up. The price was right, so I grabbed it. $9.88. Yeah, the label's starting to peel there a little bit, but it's still in decent shape. It's more dirty than anything. This thing has very little resistance. I feel it catch once in a while on a pump. So I'm assuming it's probably going to be the plastic pump cup. If it is, we'll replace it with leather. If not, we'll give it a good oiling and stretch some life back into it. First, we're going to start with pouring out this rancid smelling gas. Well, this still had pressure in it when I first opened it. Looks clear like Coleman, but like I said, it's had unleaded in it. I opened it up in my living room and it stunk up my whole living room like unleaded fuel. Get this thing locked into the vise. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to remove this generator. 7/16 wrench. It's been a while since I had one of these apart. I forgot there is a bracket on this back side. You got to take off before you can pull the generator out. Got two Phillips head screws on each, one on each side. See, that just fell right off. Now we should be able to lift up on the generator, pull it out. I've bent that just a hair, so be careful when you do that. I mean, you have to pry up on it a little bit to get it out. But you can see it's nasty. Somebody definitely been burning unleaded fuel in it. See that build up. Yeah, let's get that in the vinegar. Okay, all the parts I'm going to boil, I'll just throw in my little basket. That keeps me from losing my small parts, and I can just lift them all out of there at one time instead of fishing around with gloves in the bottom of the bowl of vinegar. Okay, next the pot support will just lift off. Once again, you need your Phillips screwdriver. Got one single screw here in the top to hold the burner on. Okay, on these burner rings, I like to just run a wire through there and just twist it off, just to keep those together in the right order. That way you know how they go back on. You don't have to worry about it. You just clean them and drop them right back in. This second piece, a little bowl shape, it will just fall right out. I've got one screw here and one on each side. Let's go ahead and remove the top one. It's a little corroded. We'll go ahead and put that in the vinegar bath. Another screw on the other side. So one on each side. Trying to stay out of the view of the camera best I can. Now that bowl should just lift right out of there. It's got like an insulation in there, so I'm not going to boil that in the vinegar. I'll just take my wire brush and clean it up a little bit. Okay, there is a little metal stop for the valve to keep it from turning too far. It's got a little notch across the back there. I just want to pop that off there just so that I can have a good place to get my wrench on there without hitting that metal. That little nub sticking up there. I can't get a good grip with my wrench, so I want to make sure it's sitting flush. Try to get the screwdriver behind it. There we go. Just pushes right off. You want to try to do this without heating that bung. Just a big antique adjustable wrench I'm going to put on it. Hopefully we can just turn it out. There we go. Use a big wrench like this, you get plenty of leverage. You don't have to use no heat with it locked down on that vise. This vise and the check valve tool are two of the handiest tools you can have in this hobby. Plastic pickup tube, I don't like those. Should just turn off there. Pull this little red piece off of the valve, and also pulled the black one off the other one. I done it off camera. Okay, this pickup tube has the Schrader valve, like in a valve for car tar. So let's pull that out. Just see if we can visually inspect it. See what that seal looks like. Okay, the best I can tell is by looking, the seal looks good on that, so we're good. I don't think there's anything else in them. Okay, I had another viewer the other day get on to me for not wearing gloves. I'm trying. It's hard to remember to put them on. Hard to teach an old dog new tricks. I've worked without gloves most of my life, with the exception of the 7 years I worked in the concrete. I wore gloves in the concrete. Anyway, let's I don't want to boil this in vinegar. I'm not sure how that plastic will react to boiling vinegar. So I'm just going to shoot some carb cleaner through it. Try to get you on camera. Alright, it's shooting out there. That's good. That's what I want to see. Go. I'm also going to shoot some in there and let it soak. Just let it drip out that bottom hole and prop it up. Okay, I've got that end soaking in carb cleaner. I'll soak that for a while, and then I'm going to flip it over and soak that top end. Just to make sure that it soaks all of the openings. Okay, Last thing left to do is pull this pump. Just going to put the screwdriver in beside the clip. Just pry it out. Just lift out the other side. And just as I expected, a plastic pump. So that's got to go right now. Just stick a screwdriver under that retaining clip. Just work it all the way around. Let it come off. Let's find another pump leather. It's a used one I salvaged off of something else, but it will work fine. What I like to do, before I pried that off there, I lay that little retainer clip flat. I don't want to mash them all the way down, but I'm going to smash it a little bit to try to bend them little spring back down a little bit just to give it a little better bite. Put the pump leather on. Put your retaining clip back on. Always make sure the little points are sticking up, not down. Should be able to smash it back down with your thumbs. And that's replaced. Simple, easy. Okay, I'm just going to stick that into some neat's foot compound. Let it soak while we're finishing this up. Remove the valve stem. See which end fits the best. Can't tell much of a difference in that one. Needs to be cut a little wide. And our small ended shaft. Throw it on our wing nut. It's so hard to do with gloves on. Throw that in our vinegar bath. Okay, got all my parts in the vinegar bowl, with the exception of the check valve. It's on its way out now. And I normally boil my parts for 20 minutes or so in vinegar, and then thoroughly rinse them out with the carburetor cleaner. But I just got shut down. Melissa just called and informed me that she's getting ready to leave and go have a yard sale with her sisters, and I've got to babysit. One of them's still in the bed, and she don't want him to wake up being there by himself. So I'm going to turn my 500 off and let it just let it sit overnight. I'll come back, put this thing back together in the morning, and maybe a part 2 video. We'll see. If not, y'all know the routine. Like, share, subscribe. God bless.